John S. Moore, who has just released a collection of poems in a book. It's called 100 Poems. And so I've got some questions I'd like to ask you about this collection. First of all, what period do these poems span?
Well, I've been writing poetry virtually all my life. The earliest lines I can remember is a fragment from a poem I wrote when I was about 8 about the Wild West. And those go, "The Injuns are approaching while breakfast eggs are poaching." Today, I think even that might be a little bit un-PC. You're supposed to call them Native Americans. But anyway, I had considered including those lines in my 100. If I had, then the period would have stretched from about 1957 right up to today. But I didn't. As I said, I was writing poetry all my life, and some of the poetry I was writing at school was actually considered to be quite good and might even be appreciated today. But I my interest has gone away from that a bit now. So I've only included one that I wrote at school, and that is a poem called "One Time." And I include that because it shows something of an adolescent mentality. Uh, so the period spanned is, I suppose, from about 1966 to pretty well present time.
And we're in 2019. Does the collection have an overriding theme, or is it a mixture of many different themes?
Well, I think you could really say it's a mixture, but the poems are in alphabetical order. But I mean, there are themes that recur, things that were interesting, that predominantly interested me at the time, and more particularly, what interests me now and what ones I want to remember. There's quite a lot about nature and the seasons, months of the year, and equinox and solstice, that sort of thing. So other themes are where I live, the London around me, sexual desire. There's only a couple of them could really be considered obscene, I think. Um, Other themes, there's various themes like death and philosophy and that sort of thing. But really, it's a mixture. It's meant to be a mix.
Okay. Can you talk about some of your inspirations behind the poetry? So both what inspired you to write these poems and also any poets or other writers who might have inspired you?
Yes, well, as I say, I'm inspired by my own experiences a lot of the time, and nature, my experience of the changing seasons. When I write about my own experience, I am accurate and truthful. I mean, I would not alter, say, a word to make it fit a rhyme. I want reality, so that if you read my some of these ones about things that have happened to me, it's actually true. Uh, Poets that have influenced me, yes. I mean, there's well, for a start, there's Milton, because I talk about Satan. Uh, I quote one line from Shakespeare from Hamlet, but there's a more notable are Coleridge. He's influenced me. Blake and Wordsworth. They're a definite influence. Um, I've got some classical influence. I mean, there's a poem by Horace that I adapt, but I don't know if that's really an influence. Um, yeah, that's about it.
Okay. And what reactions have people had so far to this collection? What feedback have you had from your readers so far?
Oh, this collection, well, it's been pretty positive, actually, very positive. But I mean, thinking about my poetry as a whole, um, I have had quite a lot of very positive feedback about it. Not just the poems here, but other poems. And I seriously think it would have been possible for me to have had a successful career as a poet, something I never did. I never went out of my way to really publish them. And if I had become a successful poet, uh, well, my experiences and my inspirations would have been different. So I think there's definitely room for someone who is reasonably anonymous to write poetry. Once someone called me an evil Roger McGough. Um, I don't know the poetry of Roger McGough, so I don't really know what they meant. And I also say these poems are perhaps not as evil as some that might be found on my, if someone wants to trail through my website, there's a lot of poetry on there.
Okay, so more can be found on your website, which is
Well, myth.demon.co.uk.
that's mith.demon.co.uk.
That leads on to a couple of other websites. My wiki.site, link to that. Most of a lot of poetry is on there, and if you look, it's tagged. You look at everything there that's tagged as poem, and you've got various divisions of it. There are seasons. There's London. There's Angel. The word angel. I dealt with angels quite a bit. That's a recurring theme. Um, what else? Yes. Well, they're the main ones.
Okay, and do you have a favorite poem from this collection or a favorite couple
Oh,
of poems? Any stand out for
well,
you that you're
no,
particularly proud of?
this changes quite a lot. What I Yeah, what I like. It depends on what perhaps the latest one I've written. Um, the latest one I've written sometimes seems to me the favourite at the time. But over the years, there've been some that stood out, and I sort of remember. I remember this one. I don't know whether it's favourite at the moment, but it has been at times. People like it. I think I'll read one to you that could be. It's called Drift. And this I wrote while crossing Yugoslavia. I think I was waiting in a hotel in Ankara for my visa for Iran. Anyway, here's a poem. Drift. Drift. Drift beyond the many worlds of change. Past faith, past belief, past doubt. Gliding softly in and out of love. Gliding softly in and out of communism, of the manifold religions, past the symbols, forms, and meanings, pausing just to register momentary understanding, past beyond uncertainty, thought, feeling, perhaps become intoxicated with nothing, the stuff of the universe.
Great, thanks very much. And the collection is called 100 Poems by John S. Moore, out now, available on Amazon, and it's priced at £6.99. John, thanks very much.
Okay, thank you.